Oh, okay, Doug, it works,
Well, sort of.
sort of.
What happened is that they only give you so much space on the Zoom account, and so I started the recording, but it's recording to my laptop, which is not a big deal, but
Okay,
it's just not recording up. Uh, and I have to make you a co-host. So hold on a second.
okay.
Okay, Pat, you're the host now.
Okay. So should I wait to record or should I?
No, no, it's recording. You wouldn't be able to start recording now because there's no room. You
Oh,
would
okay.
be trying to use the Zoom memory. I have it on my laptop, so I can post it from there.
Okay. Hmm. Okay, she's not answering. Okay, so I see Rich is here. Rich, you're muted if you want to unmute yourself for a few minutes to, we're still waiting for the judge.
I'm banging around in the kitchen. I don't think you need to hear that, so I'll leave it on mute.
Oh, okay, sure. Well, I just tried to call her and she's not answering. Well, that's right. Christian doesn't have a working microphone at the moment, so that's why he's muted. Well, okay. I thought maybe Joe would be here tonight to see if he has any announcements to make. Um, oh, Anne, you have no camera or mic. Okay, but I'm assuming you can see. Okay, okay. Okay, so Mary Ann can hear what's going on. Okay. So Anne, I'm assuming you can hear what's going on as well. Okay, I see your note there. Okay, so this is the second general competition for 2025. And I actually, January was supposed to be my last one. And Jeff Mollender's taking over, but he's out of town this week. So I told him I would run this meeting. And then he'll be taking over in June. So I always get a little nervous about this because of the technology, but I think this will work if we can
I
get the
think
judge.
you're fine. I think you're fine, Pat. Can you see Fast Stone on your laptop?
Yeah, I just in yes, I can.
Okay, I think you're
And you
good.
can you see the slide for April
Yes.
10th. Okay, good. Okay. Well, I guess if we have some problems with no judge, we'll just have a personal critiquing session here with the participants. And I told her I'd have the meeting on between 6:50 and 7, well, 6:45 and 50. Let me see if I have a different phone number for her.
Let me go send her an email too, Pat.
Oh, okay. I could send her.
Just in case she's,
Okay. You see, Ed has joined the meeting.
okay. Let me tell her that you're gonna be coming. No worries. Pat,
Yes.
I just talked to Susan. She thought you meant 7:45, not 6:45. So
Oh,
she's gonna be joining shortly.
uh-oh. I wonder if I made a mistake when I texted her.
She did tell me that she got your previews and she's previewed all the images, so
Right.
she's all set.
Okay. The one thing I forgot to do until I just remembered today is ask her to send some of her images so we don't have anything from her this time. Let's see. I can't find that email I sent with the time on it. Okay. Well, tonight I think we're going to start with creative. We have 16 images in that category and 32 in the open. So as soon as she joins us, we'll start the slideshow, maybe have her give us a little information about her. She was at one time a member of the Sierra Camera Club, and I know she's pretty active in PSA and the Gold Rush division there. Oh, it's my mistake. I put 7:45 to 7:50. Oh my gosh, no wonder. That's why it's time for somebody else to take over. Okay. Oh, okay, I see. You know, if everybody wants to unmute themselves briefly until our judge joins us. I see Mandy's now on board um, and Mary. I don't know who DEJ 13 is.
I'm Ellen James. I don't know why that's showing up
Oh.
as DEJ 13 though. I don't know how to fix that.
All right, that's
Just
okay.
rename yourself.
Yeah, you can go up to rename someplace.
I'll have to Google that. I don't know how to do
No,
it.
no, just go up to the right-hand corner and you see the three dots. Click on that and under that is rename.
I don't have three dots.
That's on,
Oh, we have to hover over with your mouse.
yeah, it's on your image. The image of
Oh, I
yourself.
see.
Yep.
Hi, Pat. I
Rename.
switched to my laptop. Now you'll wish I went back to my desktop.
No, that's okay. Hey, oh, Gert, you're home. I thought maybe you were still in Florida.
Yeah, we got back.
There you go.
Yeah. Were you there for a birding type of?
No, we do not do birding
Oh,
whatsoever. No, you have to get up way too early for birding.
yeah.
No, Lucille was there for a meeting with Scott Kelby.
Oh,
You know Scott?
yeah.
And it was a summit of some sort. And it was a
Oh,
lot of fun. I did not participate other than the reception, but I was running around from place to place, museum to museum, and had a good time. It was very warm and muggy, unseasonably in Tampa.
oh, okay.
So tried to stay as much indoor as possible. It was a fun trip.
So, is Lucille there right now?
She's here, but she's
Here?
not online.
Oh, she's not. Okay, because I was over at Viewpoint hanging up the new show
Uh-huh.
Monday. So actually, I picked up one and I looked and I thought, oh, it's Lucille's. But I want to know how she gets her name and the name of the image on the actual print, I guess.
Oh, she learned that from me, so I can tell you how to do that.
Oh, that's all right. I don't do. Hi, Ed. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing fine, thank you.
Good, good.
I
Who else?
I think
I
Susan
got-
just joined.
She
I
did?
think
Wife's
Susan
got
just
some kind
joined.
of cough.
Oh, I see her down here.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get. I don't want this here. All right, so,
I was starting to say between my wife and I don't know who sounds worse. We've been barking like seals for the last
oh
few
dear.
days. Yeah. I think she's louder. I don't know what the heck going on there, but we load up the cough syrup before we go to bed. That helps put us to sleep anyway.
Hey, Ed, did you go to the Lodi thing at Durst Winery?
I went, uh-huh.
How was it?
I didn't have anything dinner, but I went out there. I saw you and Lucille's items, and Dean did pretty good. He got a few ribbons,
Yeah,
Dean Taylor,
yeah.
and so did Daryl, I think.
Oh, good.
Anyway, yeah, but I didn't have any. I just went out there for about an hour and just looked at everything.
Hmm.
That was about my contribution.
Susan,
Yes,
my apologies. I just looked at that text I sent you and I gave you the wrong time for the meeting.
that's okay. I should have double checked that. I thought, oh, I've got all the time in the world.
Yeah.
Sorry about
Anyway,
that.
but you're with us now. And would you just give us a little idea? Some people may not be familiar with you. Susan Bovey, right? Or Bovey?
Yeah.
Bovey.
Bovey, yeah, English. Yeah. Well, I'm president of the Woodland Camera Forum. Been there since 1990. Also active as a member of the Davis Photo Club of Davis. I am now a member of Sierra Camera Club, been there for a couple years, a member of Viewpoint, longtime member of PSA, Gold Rush, of course,
Mhm.
and all the way back to well, back when I was living in Carmela, Monterey, I had the camera club down there too.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
doing this since the 70s.
Okay. Okay, so I think do you have a preference as to which category we start with, creative or open?
No preference, whatever's
All
good
right.
to you.
Then I think we're going to start with the creative. And let
Okay.
me see. Did that work, Doug? That
Yes.
showing. Okay. Phew. Okay. So Susan, what we'll do first is just go through the images as a slideshow. And then once that's done, we'll go back and I'll read the titles and you can give your commentary or critiques for each image. That work for you?
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
and your scoring runs from what, 8 to 12?
Mhm.
13 in there for extra good?
That will be, I'll go through all that as we
Okay.
get there. But yes, once basically all the 12s, anything that gets a 12, we will run through a second time. And then you'll select one of those as image of the night, and that one gets a 13. And then we'll also
Ah,
need a second and a third to send on. We belong to the N4C group of camera clubs too.
okay, good.
So, okay, so we will get the slideshow started. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. And okay, so now we'll go back here. And this is called Van Gogh's V8.
Okay, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, good. I think I turned off my camera that you don't need to see me. Okay. I love old cars myself, and actually just getting a show ready for Saturday on old cars. So beautiful colors. That's just a gorgeous blue. I like your Van Gogh effect on the body of the car. Lovely complementary colors of yellow and blue. At first, I kind of thought, well, it's very centered. Perhaps a tighter crop. Do we need all that body in there? But I think your exposure is really great. The color's really great, and I kind of like it centered. So I'll give that 11.
Okay. A Child's Companions.
She's got all her friends there with her. Lovely scene. This is something that I have yet to learn how to do myself. Putting images together. And I know I have to judge them a lot, of course. So I can't do it, but I can be picky about it. I think one of the main things is if you're going to do a composite, you need everything to have similar lighting, similar exposure. And in this particular case, although the yellow flowers are lovely in the foreground, the child, the dogs, and the egret are all in the same plane. So, you can move them around anywhere you want. So it'd be kind of fun to just kind of stagger that so they're not all in the same plane there. But other than that, the color's good, the exposure's good. It's just really tough putting things together without it looking like a composite. So this one I'll give an 11.
Under glass.
Well, this one's really kind of cool. I mean, it's a little striking, obviously, and a little gothic and whatnot. I love the coffee brown color, and it's kind of looking like it's sitting in a puddle. At first, I thought maybe it was the inside of the microwave that hasn't been cleaned, but just kidding. I kind of like what you did with the glass dome over it and everything, and it's the black and white of the skull and then the rich browns is really kind of nice. I give that one a 12.
Okay. This one, whose woods are these anyway?
This is where a title really helps. I think the title is really cute. Another composite. We've got the hummingbirds. I like the light coming in from the corner. She's kind of standing up to that feisty lion, and a phone booth. Okay. Yeah, she's kind of like the Laura Croft, right? So again, it's a composite of all these different things, but as you can see, it doesn't look realistic because the trees have light and shadow on one side or the other, while she's a little more evenly lit and actually backwards from the lighting on the trees. So it's one of those things you get, if you want it to look realistic, to kind of work that into it. But I think the title is cute, and I think I like that one just as much as the other one, but I think I like this one a little bit better. 11.
Okay. Rust reimagined.
Now that's a different take on rust. I've seen some colorful rust, but you've really had fun with this. And again, with the sort of the Van Gogh painterly effect, which is really kind of cool. Good thing that you can still see the Chevrolet symbol pretty clear, and the rest of it's very artistic. And colors are beautiful, like a rainbow. So I'll give the 11.
Okay. Eiffel Tower at dusk.
Well, this has a really kind of cool mood to it. I love the softness of it. I kind of like the clouds and texture that you used. I'm a little confused because to my eye, I'm almost seeing almost a white cross or a T to the right of the Eiffel Tower there. So I don't know where that works in, or maybe it just looks like it in the clouds there. And then another thing with using layers like this, you can see that the clouds, whatever you used for the effect to make it look like fog or clouds, you probably need to erase a little bit on the Eiffel Tower there, because some clouds are supposed to be behind the tower, not in front of it. So you want some mist in front, but some of those other clouds probably should go behind a little bit more. But the color is beautiful. I love the vignetting. I like that the Eiffel Tower is a little off to the 1/3 and complementary colors. 11.
Marina Moods.
Well, this is kind of fun. Different colors, wonderful reflection. And I even liked the way, I mean, I'm always watching the Border Patrol, you know. The top of the pier there is like right up against the edge, but that doesn't bother me that much. The emphasis is on the color and the verticals and the squiggly reflections. So kind of cool. 11.
Space Warp at St. Paul's Cathedral.
Oh, this is fun. I always like black and white. So this has got such strong graphics. I think you did right by doing it in black and white because it really has punch to it. I love the lines. You know, you got some converging lines going in there, but it kind of frames it and goes up to that ceiling. And I love that tiled floor. I mean, you've got some nice blacks, whites, and midtones going on there. So that's a lot of fun. I'll give that a 12.
Okay. The forest is aware.
You know, that's spooky. Wow. Now this is kind of cool. Now I don't know. I'm assuming maybe you put the eyes in there, but heck, maybe there is something in there. The moss is sharp in some places and soft in others, but I like where the eyes are in that crash point up in the upper 1/3. You've got some sticks that give it some lines in there that kind of draw it right up to the eyes, and the color of the eyes is really great, and it sort of complements the light green of the moss. So if it was me, to me, the bottom third is a bit bright, and it may detract from the eyes. I think if you used or burned that in or used a graduated density filter to darken the bottom a little bit, I think those eyes would pop out a bit much and you wouldn't be distracted down towards the bottom, which is kind of blurry anyway. 11.
Blurred vision.
I was thinking maybe this is one of those maps on the wine trail, right? All these cute little different towns, and it's a wine trail, and that's why it's blurry, right? Haha, you had a little bit too much. What I like about it is the effect that you have. It has this expanding and exploding sort of streaks going on, and besides the, you know, you can see a little bit of the photos within the map, but not so much that it distracts you. But the thing that I really like, and probably I would have maybe brought more into, or brought the picture down a little bit, is I like the "you are here." So that kind of says it right there. It's like, okay. Kind of goes with the title there. So let's see. This was Blurred Vision 11.
Okay. Chrissy.
This has got some strong color. Pretty saturated, but beautiful blues and reds and greens. So I think it looks really good. She looks lovely with the flowers and a nice light on her face. And everything's sort of soft and blurred and dreamlike, which I really like. I don't know. He's kind of funny. He's got the hood down over his eyes, and he might be a little menacing to me, but it would have been perfect just of her, I think. And I'm thinking maybe I'd crop just a smidge off the bottom. If you notice down there in the lower left, especially, there's some white spots. Just, get rid of those or whatever. Do your Border Patrol upper left is a little one. But yeah, I would just do it of her. That's good enough right there. It's got impact. 12.
A child's fantasy.
Now this one's really cute. I mean, look at that kid. Oh my God, is she cute? Can't go wrong with that. And I love the fairies and the little sparkles and the light coming in and all that sort of thing. So this is kind of a fun composite. Maybe throw in a couple more mushrooms in there. But again, you know, the background is kind of soft and blurred, which is fine, but the elements that you've put in are quite bright. And, you know, it's like, what do? Do you kind of soften them down so they mix in a little bit better? Again, you know, if you're going to show a light streak coming in from the upper right, that's where the shadows should fall on your subjects and stuff. And of course, they're beautifully evenly lit. So out of probably the composites that I've seen so far, this one is just really cute. I do like it. 11.
Bird of paradise.
Well, this has got some beautiful color. I love the texture overlay on this. It really works in this case. Even the lines off to the left there sort of mimic the bird. You've got a nice splay of the flower and whatever you call that thing. And I do like the colors. The exposure is really nice. I think you've done a beautiful job on this. Now I was trying to think, okay, you know, it's centered, but I think with all the angled lines going on, it does seem balanced. 12.
Mesmerizing blooms of bliss.
Yeah, beautiful spring shot. Lovely blues, greens, and whites. Got a nice day for it. It seems to me, if it was me, again, I just, you know, I'm always very critical of my own images, and obviously I'm critical here. I would like to see the whites of the tree petals. Oh, pardon me, that was my alarm. Tree petals a little brighter, and you can just take a brush and boost the highlights, just the highlights, because you're only going to do the whites, and just smoosh it around in the tree blossoms there and make them really pop, because you've got some great color in the sky and the green stripes. And I think if you make that white really pop out from those trees, that would brighten it up quite a bit. 11.
The City of London.
This is really cool. You guys are pretty good with all these different creative things. Again, I love the blue. I guess that's my color, huh? And the shapes are really cool, and I like the different colors that popped out in this. Of course, the buildings are very unusual, and that's pretty cool just by itself. It's pretty bottom weighted, maybe a little too much at the upper top, but unless you were going to do a book cover and need to put a title there, there's a lot of negative space up there. Perhaps a tighter crop would work, but and I almost want to see more of the bottom, what's down there, but maybe that wasn't interesting. So, but the color and punch and the graphics is really good. 12.
In the year 2525.
If man is still alive. I was trying to figure out, is it like a cockroach or something, or what's he carrying? I don't know. It's kind of weird. Nice color. It's very dramatic. I love the lighting on those wings. Wow. But yeah, the bird is definitely kind of weird. Everything's a little weird in 2020. Yeah, I won't be around then, so I won't know anything. But really interesting composition and subject. To me, maybe the crop is a little too tight. If you could expand the edges a little bit and not make it feel cramped. I mean, and then the bird is moving off to the left with not enough space in front of it, but it's a long bird. Look at those legs. So maybe something more of a panoramic would look a little better, but he's kind of hemmed in there. But very, very interesting photograph. I think it's got a lot of impact. 11.
Okay, that's the end. So now we'll go back and let's see. All right, to look at the 12s. Okay. Let me just make sure with my assistant that we have 3. You have 5? Thank you. Yes, okay.
Yep, I have 5 too.
Okay. So what I'll do is go through these again with the titles, and then we can go back and forth. So what you're doing here is selecting image of the night out of the creative, and then a second and third place.
Okay.
So this is Under Glass, Space Warp at St. Paul's Cathedral, A Child's Fantasy. Oh wait, Chrissy. A Bird of Paradise, and City of London.
See, this is always the hardest part.
If you want me to do an in or out sort of thing, I can do.
No, I think we're pretty good. Let's see, you want a like a 1, 2, and a 3, right?
Yes.
Okay. I would say, okay, number 3 is that one, the Skull Under Glass.
Okay. This one is by Truman Holtzclaw.
Oh, I should have known. He's got all sorts of bones all over the place. Okay, the second place one I think would be the Bird of Paradise.
Okay.
It's lovely. Would put on a wall. It would make a great note card.
Now that's by Doug Arnold.
Ah, very good. Look good in my bathroom.
So that leaves this one, this one, this. Oh, wait a minute. I'm supposed to do something here.
Yeah, this
One,
is,
two, 3.
some of these are so close. Okay.
Hold on just a second. Bird of Paradise was 2. Okay, so that leaves this one, and this one.
Okay, I'm going to have to go with Space Warp for number 1.
That would be this one here, and that one is by Gert van Ammering.
All right, good work, Gert.
Okay, so the other ones, this one is Chrissy, that's also by Truman Holtzclaw.
Should have
And
known by the saturation, right?
and the City of London is another one by Gert.
All right, very cool.
So congratulations to you, those
Yeah.
of you who are here. Anyway, okay. Are you okay to keep moving along to the next category, Susan?
Sure, yeah, it's kind of a big one.
Yeah, it's got 32. Where's my sheet? 32 in open. So we'll do the same thing. We'll do a slideshow first, then go back and do the individual. So I need to go to what? I don't want that. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So okay. General. Okay, this is the open category, so then we are going to see a slideshow. Okay. Okay, that's the end of the slideshow, so we will go back to this one. This is called Blue Angels Head On.
Yeah, I see some of you made it to the air show. We've got saw great photographs on Facebook. I'm always amazed at how these guys can fly in precision like that. It's incredible. I don't know how they do it. Even though this is centered with the planes, I think the sizing of the planes in the frame is just about right. The bit of smoke coming out, I think, is a really good added thing. If it was just the 4 planes without the smoke, be kind of plain. Plain, get it? Plain. Oh, okay. So I think you did really well with this. 11?
Are you there?
Oh, did I lose you?
Oh, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, now I can hear you, but we didn't
Okay.
hear the
Where
rest
did I leave off?
that you love it.
Oh yeah, I do love it. That smoke makes the picture. I mean, we've got plenty of plane pictures here, plane pictures, but the smoke really makes this shot, and kind of like the fact that it's in black and white. It's a little different. So 11.
Okay. Thief stealing bird seed.
So cute. Um, you got a nice catch light in the eye. It's again me. If it was me and I was shooting it or cropping it or whatever, I would have more squirrel, less feeder. Especially those 2 rivets on the green of the. I mean, there's 2 eyes over there to the right. They're just distracting. So just crop off all of that and just do a tall vertical with the squirrel. And also the squirrel's face is a little dark because of the shade from the feeder. Tough lighting situations. You can see you've got quite some bright background, but you need a little more light, especially on the face of the squirrel. The rest of them is pretty good. Nice texture on the fur. So 10.
Okay. This one is pre-packaged for spring.
Hmm. This is nice. I love the droplets on the plant. However, this is screaming to me that it needs to be a vertical, or at least crop it to one side or the other, make it a third. I'd take a little off the left side because it leans a little bit to the right anyway. Also, would like to see a little bit more of the stem because the thing is a little cropped off at the bottom there, and I always feel any plants need a base or a stem. So I think a vertical, we'll step back a little bit and include more. The background is really nice, though. You did a good job with that. The lighting on the plant coming out is very good. 11.
Saguaro cactus.
This is fun. I love the curves on this. And you probably see so many saguaros and they're all kind of look the same, but if you can find a pattern like this, that's really nice. And I like the lighting. You've got some nice side lighting, which really gives the texture to the plant. Would be nice if those flowers were a little bit more in bloom, but you can't have everything. Nice tight crop. A little close on the left side there. Ooch. I always feel, shoot a little bit wider. You can always crop in, but well, it's tougher to add stuff. So, but the lighting, the color is very natural. 11.
Skybound spectacular.
Yeah, great action shot. Again, look how close these guys are and how precision they are. It's amazing. At first I thought, well, maybe this is upside down and flip, but no, the light's right. The light's on the top side of the plane and they're upside down, which is even more amazing. Really great. I fudge a lot on my photos. And in an open competition, I guess you don't have to be too realistic. I would tilt the whole thing and make them do a little bit more vertical, make them going a little bit more up towards the upper left there. But you've got the great smoke. You've got left space in front of them, which is great. 11.
Blue Angels 4 ways.
Now, I like this one. Again, it's, there's not precision, but I like the fact that they're in 4 different angles, which is really cool. And you've got a nice sort of a splayed attack. So for me, it gives it a lot of movement, and they're just going all off in different directions, which is really kind of nice. I like that flare. 12.
Whoops. Hold on just a second here. I've got to fix something. Okay, I can do that while you look at this one, which is Half Dome. I think I'll watch from here.
Yes, I would too. Although, boy, I should have done that when I was young. Darn it. Can't do it now. Boy. Hey, at least you got that far. That's amazing. I think your exposure is great considering you have a very reflective granite. So you did a pretty good job. The lighting is natural. The color is natural. I'm almost wanting just about a foot more at the bottom there, but well, under his feet, you know what I mean? Because he's standing right on the border there. So a little too much sky and not enough of the rock in front. So you got to have a little bit more foreground there and a slightly different crop. So I think you can probably help this by cropping down from the top a little bit. But unless you can recreate the rock there at the bottom, that's a little too tight. 11.
Dancing Mangrove Tree, Indonesia.
Now that's just beautiful. I mean, it is so graceful. And what I really like is that soft highlight on the left side of the tree. That is just beautiful. It's sort of a blush color. This is very kind of lavender, and it has a nice mood to it, nice composition. To me, it might be a little bit too muted. I'm very attracted to the highlights on the trunk there. And I do a lot of color channels, both in color and black and white. So I think this needs some brightness. Now the background is nice and soft and muted. The water's nice and soft. I'm trying to think, how can I give it a little bit more pop? And perhaps if you did your luminance on your greens and brighten the greens a little bit to match the lighting on the trunk, then it would really be glowing. And I think that's what I'd go for. But other than that, the mood is lovely. The composition is lovely. The light is lovely. 12.
Let's see. Come on. This one is Spring in Bloom.
Lovely blossoms. Yeah, this one I love the branches arching one way and then the other, but to me, it's almost a little distracting, especially since, you've got the center area, which is really good. But then the eye will wander all over the place. And like I said, it'll go towards some of the brighter things. So just to the right of it, there's a highlight on some of those flowers that are blurred out. And that's a little distracting. And then the little spot down in the lower left is also bright and distracting. So I'd almost prefer a tighter crop of one of these clusters, perhaps the one that has the light on it, and adjust for the lighting on that one. But you've got so many branches in a tree, you've got so many options. And I think going in tight and finding a good composition, perhaps I like the center. You've got the open blossoms plus some buds, so you have the different stages, which is great. The light is nice and soft. The color is nice, but it's just almost too much going on there. I think I would like to see it centered down. 11.
Flight of Sandhill Cranes.
Now this one, I really like the lighting on this. Nice and soft. It's bright enough. Even the bright clouds on either side don't bother me that much, because in a way they kind of frame in the birds, and the birds are bright enough to stand on their own. Nice and sharp. And you've got 3, which they say you have to have odd numbers, so that works. And I think it's a great shot, really. I'll give that one a 12.
Okay. This one is Cannon Beach Low Tide Morning.
Now this is really cool. The lighting is really nice on this. Look how you have a highlight off to, say, kind of going diagonally along the water there, the highlight of the light. And you've got a lot of texture going on. You can see where the water has been flowing to carve that sand like that. The Moro Rock, or whatever, the whalehead, whatever, the rock over there, gives it a good sense of place, and it's your focus on your background. But to me, it's these wavy lines and the water and the light leading to that rock. And I think you did a pretty good job with this cropping. I would almost want to take a few steps to the left and do a vertical, get down low and follow that lighter line with the water to that rock, which would be pretty cool. But really good shot of the textures. And of course you were there, nice morning light. So I never get up that early. That's my problem. 12.
Fly Geyser Clearing Storm.
This is on my bucket list. I just have to get there one of these days. And this is one of the nicer shots that I've seen. I've heard sometimes it can be difficult to get there, so I think you made it work. I think what bothers me a little bit is the foreground is a little soft or indistinct in some way. And if it wasn't in light, it wouldn't bother me as much, because the impact of the geysers and the color is your focal point. But with light on them and it's a leading line into them, they need to be a little sharper. If you're going to use middle ground and foreground, middle ground, background, at least have the foreground and middle ground sharp. Background doesn't matter. But I do love the clouds, and I think it frames it in very nicely, and the color is really great. I just would like to see maybe a little sharper in the front. If you can't do that, then maybe crop in tighter. Get right up on those puppies. You can't get in there yourself, but you can crop in. But it's dramatic. 11.
Celestial Harmony.
I think this is fun because you've got a round moon and a triangle with the planes. And again, that precision. I mean, that's amazing. So I think you've done a really nice job in putting these things together. And maybe a slightly tighter crop, I don't know, or removing a little bit on the left take it out of the center, maybe. I don't know. You can do all sorts of things with this, but it's a nice, simple thing. And you've got the moon is really nice. That's a nice exposure on the moon. So nice putting that together. 11.
Reflections of gold.
This is a nice scene. Again, this would look great over somebody's couch. That's one of those things. Can you frame it? Can you put it on your wall? The light is lovely. It's almost like being backlit there, a little bit of fall color going on. Lovely reflection in the water. And what makes it for me is you've got that either rocks or a stump in the foreground. So there's your foreground, and you got a middle ground, and the background doesn't count. But the fact that the reflection of the tree trunk even leads to those foreground elements, it really ties it together. You've got a nice sort of V going on there. And then I like the darkened background. The color really pops off of that. So 12.
Joey at Sacramento Zoo.
This is a great portrait. I think it really helps to have that twig in his mouth. And this expression is really great. Very pleasant, nice catchlight in the eyes. To me, I would have almost wanted to see his hands. I mean, it's if you're going to crop in tight, but otherwise a little bit more of the hands would have been good, I think. And I did have to blow it up a little bit. It is a little soft on the bottom. However, the face is sharp enough, which is great. That's where it needs to be. And I think it's a really nice portrait. 11.
The rain can't stop us.
This is an interesting shot. Those poor girls having to dance in the rain. Tight crop, but what impressed me is these girls are in step right with each other. I used to be a dancer, and precision is key sometimes. And trying to shoot dancers, especially a group of dancers, somebody's always going to be off, But these girls are right on there. They've got the little splashies on their toes there, and I like it. You got 3 of them, so there's your odd number. I think it's a great shot of an event, and I think you did a pretty good job considering the weather. 11.
Vapor clouds form on wings of F-35 Max Perf climb.
Yeah, you guys are getting some really nice sharp pictures of these planes, and you can imagine it's they're moving. So congrats on that one. And to capture the vapor mist as he's going through those G-forces is amazing. You've got the afterburner thing there going on, some color in that, and everything else looks like it's pretty sharp. I'll give that a 12.
Beauty salon window reflection.
I love reflections, and then I want to do some more street photography where you get the street scene reflected into a storefront, but then you also have the things in the storefront coming out. Anyway, to me, this is kind of cool because these are almost like portals into the scene that you're getting into. It's I don't know. It hit me that way. Interesting. The one I like on the left is that it almost becomes a frame, right, for that house and that tree there. Not so much the other 2. That's okay, but you framed that one in nicely. And it's a good way of seeing. I think, if you have the knack of finding these things and seeing them, that's a plus right there. Mostly everybody else would just walk on by and say, oh, there's nothing there. But you saw that as a potential photograph, and kudos for that. 11?
Yard ornament backlit by sun.
That is so cute. I want that. Great color. Obviously, the backlighting really sets that off. The lovely warm colors. You've got a nice tight crop, so there's no distracting features. And I'm assuming that's sort of window framing in the background there, which is fine. And you know, your focus is so sharp. I'm even seeing the cobwebs on there. That would be like my house, cobwebs everywhere. So really nice little shot. 11.
Maui backflip.
Great capture. These guys don't tell you when they're going to do this. They just go bloosh. And there you are. So you are ready. And, you know, you got good focus on the whale and everything, which was really great. Trying to figure out, you know, he's very centered. She's very centered, something like that. Could this go vertical? Do you crop some off, say, the right as the whale's leaning a little to the left and put it in the 1/3? Do you have to follow those rules? I think maybe a tighter crop would be good. You don't need that much water. 12, though.
Evening glow.
Let me guess who shot this one. Let's see. Stunning color, of course. And, you know, some people say, oh, it's not like that naturally. Well, I've seen some sunsets that'll knock your socks off. So who's to say? I love the color on this one. And what really makes the scene is the wave, that orange wave above the trees that's reflected also in the bottom. If it was me, again, I would take that top 1/4 off because one, it's lighter and it draws your eye away. And two, I would want to make it more like the panoramic and just focus on that orange line with the trees in the middle and just crop it down like that. So I'm a terrible, I mean, I crop everything and I don't do it to aspect ratios half the time. And the guy that does my matting and framing hates me, but that's the way it is. Okay. Oh, I'm going to give that a 12.
Painted lady on sunflower.
Really nice composition. You got in nice and tight. I love the sort of the curves going on, the butterflies at the nice crash point there. I would probably do a little, maybe a little brushing of extra light on the butterfly to make it pop. I think the background is good. I like the touch of green and the fuzzies and the seed flowers. Very nice. And I sat there and looked at it for a while. And it's like, does it need like just a 1/4 stop more? A little more brightness, some punch? I don't know. You got good color, that's for sure. But I think it would really pop with just one more little touch of brightness, maybe. But I'll still give it a 12.
See if I can pronounce this. Borobudur Temple at Blue Hour, Java.
Sounds good to me. This is beautiful, moody. You've really captured, unfortunately, the smog that you can get over there, but you're working it. And it really works out great with the different stages of the trees and then the temple in the background. And I love the color. I see touches of lavender and almost a touch of turquoise in some spots. So really nice. And I like the way the light is kind of graduated. You've got a darker base at the bottom, and it gets lighter and lighter until you get to the very top sky there, of course, with the silhouette of the temple. So I think you've done a gorgeous job on that. 12.
Water pouring down a cliffside.
Very nice. There's always a lot of talk about how slow a shutter do you need. And it can be delicate, and it can depend on the waterfall, of course, and the situation and the lighting. I like a slow shutter to give it this dreamy effect like this, but I've seen some people that do too much of it, and that's too much, or not enough of it. And it's like, well, it's nice and crisp, but where's the dreaminess? So I think you've done a really good job with this one. I love the composition, nice and tight, but you've got all the highlights framed in by the background and the rocks. There is a bit of mist in the air, but I think that adds to it. So we're going for the dreamy effect and not hard and crunchy. So 12.
Upper Yosemite Falls, nice reflection.
Yes, you almost think you're upside down, but wait a minute. Now you can see the bottom of the water, the lake there, which is really great. This is a nice natural exposure and color. I mean, yeah, you can, saturate it up and all that sort of thing, but I kind of like it when it is natural. And this is one of these things where you can play with a polarizer. Now, of course, you're trying to get the reflection, so you don't want so much polarizer you lose the reflection. But it would be nice to kill a little bit of that sort of blue haze through the water to see the texture of the rocks a little bit better. But that you'd have to play with that. And again, depending on which way the lighting's going, it may not have been possible. But fun way of seeing, of course, and your exposure is great, and like I said, the lighting's natural, so it doesn't have to be saturated. 11.
Zebra.
I love shots like this. I'm a big graphic person, and I love close-ups, abstracts, this sort of thing. So the zebras obviously are great for this. You've got the eye nice and sharp, and it's in the crash point of the 1/3, which is great. And then the rest of it just sort of fades off into darkness, which is really kind of nice. So I think you've done an excellent job on composition, and it's nice and, right around the face, and the eye is nice and sharp. 12.
Dynamic duo.
Well, this is a nice tighter crop, so this is great to really get in tight. You can then, almost even see the pilots there. Good color and nice and sharp, and I do like this upward diagonal. Again, if you like the other one, it's like, okay, that was the way they were going, but it doesn't have to be that way. I think if you can make things diagonal, if they were straight, then you're adding impact to the scene. So I won't tell anybody, right? 11.
Dreams of days gone by.
Well, this has got some character to it. Look at the broken glass and the rust, and it's just trees are growing up around it. You've got everything going on here. I love black and whites. That's one of my things. You've got lots of great texture here. This is where I do like blacks, and I like whites, and I like, all the middle tones in between. But what I'm struggling with here is you've got a lot of middle tones, which is okay, but I'm just curious what the color shot would be on this. What color is that car body? The reason why I ask is you can get some more separation of the car away from the greenery if it was a color that you could do your luminance channels with. And again, you can just use those sliders and say, oh, okay, well, the car was red, so use the red slider, lighten or darken. Same with the green, same with the yellow. You can get a lot done with yellow because yellows and blues, you don't really see them with your eye, but they're there. So that's what I would play with because I would like to see a little bit more of the car popping out contrast-wise from the background. However, the bumper, the fenders, the headlamps, and the windshield do stand out pretty well. So what did I say? I give it a 12. Yep.
The Sad Fiddler.
I know him. Yeah, lots of us got some great shots of him, and this is one of them. I love that you've got, the Rembrandt or side lighting going on, the darkness. You've got just a hint of the drape over here to the right. And I like that the bow is a little blurred, so he might be fiddling, right? Good catch light in the eye, good texture in the beard, and texture in the hat. 12.
Budding Beauty.
I love the colors in this, the yellows, the greens, and sort of purplish color. See, it's got a stem. Hey, look at that. And you've got more of the open flowers behind it, so you can see that this is a bud, and then it opens up a little bit more. I like the diagonal that it's on. I think the composition is really nice, and the color is also very nice. I'll give that a 12.
Sleeping Swan.
Yeah, keeping its nose warm, huh? Beautiful texture on the bird, nice soft light. Even though his face is in shadow, I love the light on the neck and whatnot. However, although you might have been going for some of the reflection, it's not as a good a reflection that warrants all that. So I would tighten even cropper. I mean, I can't even talk right now. I would crop in even tighter. Bring it up from the bottom at least because, that reflection is just not quite doing it. And I think a tighter crop would be more dramatic. 11.
Amidst the Flow of Water.
Yeah, another nice waterfall. I'm an Aquarius, so I love water. Very nice. As the other one was sort of framed in by the darker rocks with the waterfall in the middle, now this one's framed in almost by the highlights on either side. So it's a little different. And again, it's extremely soft, especially on the outside framing, and you could have probably enhanced that by using brushes and things like that. But I really like the shape, this triangle going on, and the way the water splays at the bottom, and of course the softness of the flow. Now this is one that if it was me, I would have probably done it a little faster shutter because I do like a little crunchy in there, or at least detail. But this does have a very nice soft feel to it. 11.
Okay. So
I think I gave way too many 12s on this one.
there
There are a lot of them.
are a lot of them. There were 15.
Oof. Oh.
Yep. So your work's cut out
I'm
for
making me
you.
work hard for myself.
let's see. Yeah, 15. Okay.
Okay, is Richard, was he one of them?
Rich? Yes. Mhm. Okay, so here we go.
Mm.
Do you want me to read the titles or just go
Yes,
through?
please.
I'm sorry.
Yes, please.
Yes, okay. So this one is Blue Angels Four Ways. Dancing Mangrove Tree in Indonesia. Flight of Sandhill Cranes. Cannon Beach Low Tide Morning. Reflections of Gold. Vapor clouds form on wings of F-35. Maui backflip. Evening glow. Painted Lady on Sunflower. Barabador Temple at Blue Hour. Water pouring down a cliffside. Zebra. Dreams of Days Gone By. The Sad Fiddler. And Budding Beauty.
Mhm. Yeah. Too many 12s. Okay. Well, congrats to everybody because they are great shots. Oh, so let's see. I've narrowed it down to 4. I need to narrow it down to 3, right?
Yeah, well, why don't you tell me if I'm going to click on them and you tell me oh no, I can't do that.
I can
Okay,
I can give you the numbers of the best ones I like.
okay, so let's see. Oh, I can do that. So just tell me in or out.
Okay. Well, they're all great, but don't take
No,
offense, folks. Okay. Out. uh, out. 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 I said I really have to narrow this down hard. Out. Out. In. Out. In. 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 Out. Crappers. Excuse me. That's a tight one, but I have to narrow this down. Out. And out.
All right, so
down to 4 or 5.
we're down to 4. So it would this one.
Oof. Okay.
You still there?
Yeah, decisions. Okay. Yeah, too many good photographs. You guys make it tough on me. For the third place, I would do the Borobudur Temple, although that was gorgeous.
All right, let me just find that on here. That is by Mandy Davies. That
Good
is number
job.
3. So
Then second place, I like the zebra, number 26. Yeah.
that is Heather Klein.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And because I'm an Aquarian and I love water, water pouring down a cliffside, number 24.
That's Erin Vizzini. And number 1. Okay. And I don't know if you saw, I think it was last month at Viewpoint, he had a show in the main gallery. And I have to tell you, the digital version of his images does not do justice to what he has.
He's got a great printer. I missed the show, darn it, and I wish I had.
So back to the other 12s, Blue Angels Head On was mine.
Mhm.
And oh no, that's not Head On. That's Blue Angels 4 Ways. And then the mangrove tree was Mandy Davies. The Sandhill Cranes, Doug Arnold. Cannon Beach. Where are you? Richard Bromberg. The Reflections of Gold, Greg Guerin. The Vapor Clouds on the Jet was Doug Arnold. The Maui Backflip, Richard Bromberg. Guess who did this one?
Yeah.
Truman
Yeah, that one was a killer, but I would put it in a panoramic and crop it. Yep.
The Painted Lady, Mary Carrasco. I did that. Well, oh wait, I didn't put that down there. That was number 1. Okay, the Zebra, Heather Klein. And the Dreams of Days Gone By, Greg Guerin. Sad Fiddler, Gert Van Omering. And the Budding Beauty was Donna Sturla.
Good job, everybody.
Thank you. So actually, I'm not sure I did those. So number 1 was the water. Number 2 was the zebra. That's what I needed there too. Okay. So that ends our program. I think I'm going to stop sharing. Unless somebody has some comments or anything they'd like to say about any of the images or Susan, did you have any questions about any of them?
No, don't think so. I mean, it's always fun to see everybody's images. You guys are all fabulous photographers. Always inspiring for me. And I like seeing some of the creativity too, because again, this is stuff that some of you are going off and playing with these things, and it's so fun to see what you can do with them. So even though I don't do any of that yet myself, one of these days maybe I'll learn how to do it, but I have respect for people that do try these things, so that's fun.
Yep. Okay, anybody else?
I just wanted to say I did make it to the top of Half Dome.
Wait, who's talking?
This is Rich Bromberg.
And what did you say?
The picture I had from Half Dome.
Yes.
Yeah, I did make it to the top.
You did.
You did. Oh,
Except
wow.
I was so tired I couldn't take any more pictures after that.
Oh, I bet. I would just go back down to the happy camp down there and have a couple beers and put my feet up in the air. Wow.
Yep.
Good for you.
I'd like to say, Susan, I appreciated your comments.
Oh, thank
Very
you very
good
much.
judging.
Oh, there's Ann Sandler.
That's me.
Hi, Ann.
Okay,
Twice I'm here.
okay. Anybody else? Okay,
I'm
so the
glad I
next,
can do this via Zoom. I mean, someday I will get into town or whatever, but I had such a busy day today at work that it was nice that I could just stay home. So thank
well, I'm
you.
glad I gave you an extra half hour then to.
Sorry about that.
So,
guys.
then the third general competition will be coming up in June. So Jeff Mollander will be in charge of that one. So, and Gert, do we have someone to do travel?
Yes, so that will also, I guess, travel will be in May as
In
well.
May? Okay,
So Laura Berard is going to step in and take care of the travel.
okay. All right. Okay, well, thanks, everybody, and have a good rest of your evening. Getting done kind of early.
Yeah.
Thank you all
Thanks.
for showing up and for participating. It's really helpful.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for having me.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Susan.
Okay,
Thanks, Gert.
We'll see you.
okay.